China has had thousands of years to perfect the art of making bad emperors, so here are some of their most infamous. Emperor Qin Shi Huang was the first emperor of a unified China. He took the title of Emperor of the Qin dynasty in 200 BC and set about making China, well, China. He standardized weights and measures, created a national currency, built roads and canals, and most importantly for the average Chinese peasant, burned their fields to get rid of weeds. But he also built the world's first weapons of mass destruction, an army of terracotta soldiers, so that he could have an army of undefeatable, unkillable soldiers. And when he wasn't busy with that, he liked to engage in some good old-fashioned genocide, specifically of anyone who disagreed with him, which is how he earned the nickname the Butcher of China. After Qin Shi Huang was succeeded by his son, the empire fell into civil war and the country was divided into three. One of those was the Han dynasty founded by Liu Bang, who would become known as the second emperor of China. He brought the country together again after a century of division. But he also presided over a golden age of peace and prosperity. In fact, one of his accomplishments was solving the problem of how to keep your friends close and your enemies closer by inventing the crossbow. Yeah, it's a complicated story. He also founded the Silk Road and invented paper. But he got bored of actually being emperor after a while and spent his last years writing poetry. It only took 1800 years for the Song dynasty to roll around. It was during this time that China invented gunpowder. They also invented printing, not that kind of printing, and the compass. They also built giant paddle boats to help transport goods and troops across their massive empire. But they were eventually conquered by the Mongols. Oh, you don't know about the Mongols? Well, they were a big deal. Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire, and it became the largest contiguous land empire in history. But even though the Mongols had a huge empire, they weren't great at actually keeping track of it. So they brought in an advisor named Yabai, who ended up ruling the empire in all but name. He was the de facto ruler of the Yuan dynasty, which encompassed the entirety of China. Despite being half black himself, he launched a massive genocide of the Chinese people, killing an estimated 11 million. Oh, and also they made some really nice porcelain. But the dynasty fell apart when the capital was sacked by the Mongols again. And now we come to the last and perhaps greatest of China's bad emperors, Chairman Mao Zedong. He did this by killing anyone who owned property and giving their farms to the peasants. That's right, he was a communist. He also started a little club called the Communist Party, which quickly became the most feared organization in the world. Thanks for watching.